Communicating Rotary information is one of the greatest needs of our organization. During our 80-year history, we have communicated in many ways: pamphlets, magazines, books, slide sets. We now have available the technology of video and videotape. It is blanketing the world. The program you are about to see uses video to communicate to the most important level of Rotary, to the individual clubs. We are enthusiastic about the potential of this new audiovisual program, the Rotary News Network. Your reaction to this experimental Rotary information show is important to your international association. To help us determine future directions, your club president has been sent a questionnaire. Please share your reaction with him. And now, the Rotary News Network.
Welcome to the first edition of the Rotary News Network. I'm your host, Bob Holtz. During this program, we'll be covering many of the exciting activities of Rotary clubs throughout the world. One of these activities is the Polio Plus program. The most ambitious undertaking in the history of Rotary, Polio Plus seeks to immunize all the children of the world against polio and other diseases, totally eliminating them from the face of the earth. Jay Marks reports on the enormous problem and the exciting solution.
You know, initially, Rotary was going to raise $120 million US just among its own members to see polio eradicated by the year 2005, Rotary's 100th anniversary. But now, after successful campaigns in several countries, it's so obvious that the children can be saved much sooner if everyone pitches in and helps. So Rotary decided to do something it has never done before in its 80-year history. Go to the general public and ask for donations to get the job done quicker. Third world mothers fear polio more than other fatal diseases or hunger because it is a major crippler. The crippled child becomes a lifelong drain on the family, especially since braces, crutches, and wheelchairs are not readily available in most places. In 1955, the first polio vaccinations began in the United States with a vaccine developed by microbiologist Jonas E. Salk. Then, in 1957, Dr. Albert Sabin's oral polio vaccine underwent successful mass testing, and the race was on to eradicate polio. Within 2 decades, the once feared disease had nearly disappeared from memory, as the number of polio cases in industrialized countries dropped from tens of thousands to nearly zero. The war was won. Or was it? No. Today, the fight against polio is only beginning in many parts of the world. In fact, polio is one of several diseases still ravaging the children of the world. 25% of all infant deaths in the third world are from these 6 vaccine-preventable diseases: polio, plus measles, diphtheria, whooping cough, tuberculosis, and tetanus. 4 million deaths a year. It's such a waste, because we have the means to conquer all these enemies. It's a massive undertaking, yet it really is achievable. How? Because Rotary can do what no other single agency can. Call into action an army of volunteers, involve business and government contacts to maximum potential, and provide the national private sector leadership that is essential for massive social mobilization. International and local health agencies know that Rotarians have the skill and the will to be effective and to stay with the task until it is achieved.
Thank you, Jay. The Polio Plus program has already seen some incredible results. To date, the Rotary Foundation has approved over $37 million for accelerated immunization efforts in 42 countries. You can learn more about this program in the Polio Plus story. This videotape is available through the audiovisual department at Rotary International. Rotary is committed not only to the prevention of polio, but also through Rotary's 3H program to the rehabilitation of those for whom immunization comes too late. For instance, 2 Rotarian volunteers, Dr. Paul Binks of Great Britain and Dr. Joe Serra of the United States, have been working at a polio rehabilitation clinic in Malawi, Africa, teaching surgical techniques and performing operations that allow patients who can only move by crawling to stand up and walk. Rotary International past president Ed Cadman reports from Malawi.
It's a cruel, unforgiving disease, and it doesn't care whether its victims are young or old, rich or poor. Those without the protection of vaccination are all easy prey. The case of Linus Inanganga is typical. Linus contracted polio when she was just 6 years old, and its crippling effects have been with her ever since. Linus is now 20.
And she is very anxious to get a job.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Joe Serra is a Rotary 3H volunteer from Stockton, California, and he's taken a special interest in Linus's case.
The involvement that she has in her left leg, her foot is in a coinus, and she has no power really actively to bring up her foot.
So you have to lengthen this to get your foot back up there.
That's right.
The first step on the road to a better life for Linus involves surgery, and I was privileged to help her make that step. At Kamuzu's Central Hospital in Lilongwe, Joe and I carried out surgery to lengthen the tendon in the heel of her left foot.
Okay.
Simple reconstructive surgery of this kind is the cornerstone of a project originally proposed in 1980 by the Rotary Club of Lilongwe and set in motion in April of the following year.
Like those nuts. It's just beautiful. What
The disabilities of these young citizens of Malawi are sure to make it difficult to find a job. The answer to what is sure to become a growing problem is the provision of an effective occupational training program.
Humanitarian projects like Polio Plus and polio rehabilitation are a major aspect of Rotary service. But there's a lot more to the world of Rotary. Let's briefly take a look at some highlights of recent and upcoming events. Millions of people all over the world watch the Tournament of Roses parade every January 1st. As in years past, months of hard work, coordinated by the Rotary Club of Pasadena, culminated in this year's float. Rotary brings hope. Plans for next year's float are being developed, and construction will begin shortly. In 1986, Las Vegas was the site of a celebration of the Rotary spirit of fellowship and service, and the kickoff to the new theme, Rotary Brings Hope. Over 18,000 Rotarians and guests from 102 countries met at the Las Vegas convention to learn, to renew old friendships and make new ones, and to enjoy the entertainment and tours organized by the host club, the Rotary Club of Las Vegas. A popular figure at the convention was the 1 millionth Rotarian, Jean-Paul Moraval, and his wife Danielle. He belongs to the Rotary Club of Thionville, France. Jean-Paul's name was selected in a random drawing at the Secretariat from all those admitted during Rotary's anniversary week in February. That's when Rotary's membership passed the 1 million mark. He says he's looking forward to the day when he can greet the 2 millionth Rotarian, projected for the year 2005. In 1987, Rotarians will have another opportunity to share the internationality of Rotary and renew their commitment to peace and understanding among all peoples at the 1987 International Convention in Munich, Germany. The dates, June 7th through the 10th. Munich, located in the heart of Bavaria, is a blend of medieval charm and modern technology, and is just a short drive away from some of the most beautiful sights in Europe. Start planning now to attend Rotary's most important meeting of the year. And now some service news. A new program, the Rotary Village Corps, created by President Caparas, offers Rotary clubs the opportunity to expand the scope of their service work. The focus is on community development and self-help, especially in developing nations. Local citizens, under the guidance of the sponsoring Rotary Club, will learn to develop leadership, take responsibility, and work collectively for the improvement of their lives. Rotary Village Corps can be formed in deprived urban neighborhoods as well as rural neighborhoods. For complete information and details on this program, obtain the publications Rotary Brings Hope the Rotary Village Corps, a new dimension in service, and Rotary Village Corps guidelines and bylaws. Esperanza, it means hope in Portuguese, and it's the name of a medical project being carried out in the Amazon region of Brazil with the support of Rotarians.
Gordon Mann is a dentist from Falmouth, England, who's donating a month of his time to Esperanza. He volunteered through Rotary International, which sends someone from some part of the world every month to help Esperanza's full-time dentist. They find plenty of work.
I've seen several children who need to have dentures about the age of 8, 9. I think it's largely due to malnutrition followed by sugar. I think they've just found the delights of sugar in the last few years, and it's wreaked havoc. I don't seem to hurt them very much. They don't seem to hold it against me if I do hurt them.
Rotary has consistently worked to achieve international understanding and ultimately peace on earth through its humanitarian projects. Recently, at its annual awards ceremony, the Better World Society recognized Rotary's commitment to peace and improving living conditions throughout the world.
They truly exemplify Rotary's credo, service above self. I'd now like to ask International President Matt Caparas to come forward and accept the award from the Better World Society, the Humanitarian Medal, on behalf of the million Rotarians who continue to do wonderful work and who thrill and inspire us all.
One of the many ways Rotary fosters world understanding is through the Rotary Foundation Scholarship Program, the world's largest private scholarship program. Scholars study abroad for 1 year, specializing in the field of their choice, widening their horizons, and serving as ambassadors of goodwill. Through their participation in a Rotary Foundation program and their contact with Rotarians, Foundation scholars come to embrace and promote Rotary's ideals. Today, many of them hold prominent positions around the world, and their opinions and decisions significantly influence policies, shaping a better world. Some Rotary Foundation Scholarship alumni are Sadako Ogato, Permanent Representative of Japan to the United Nations; Sylvia Bacon, Superior Court Judge in the District of Columbia; Otto Borscht, Danish Ambassador to NATO; Paul Volcker, Chairman of the Federal Reserve Board of the United States; Sister Margaret Cameron, a pioneer in working with hearing-impaired children; and Bill Moyers, journalist and commentator. At a recent district conference in his hometown of Marshall, Texas, Bill Moyers talked about what Rotary means to him and to the world.
But what we do to touch other people, to lift them out of that parochial knowledge of themselves, to open the horizon to them, to say, you matter, is what ripples on and on and on. You see, the 5 men who chose me are gone, but they're not. They never will be. Because along the way, I, in my own way, will share with others and have what those 5 men and the 60 members of the Marshall Rotary Club and the tens of thousands of members of Rotary did in 1956 when they said, Bill Moyers, you can matter.
Now for some timely news items of interest and importance to your club. The new president of Rotary International, beginning July 1st, is Charles C. Keller, an attorney from California, Pennsylvania, USA. A Rotarian since 1950, Chuck has served RI as district governor, committee chairman, and director. He was twice chairman of the Council on Legislation, Rotary's legislative body, which meets every 3 years. The Rotary International theme for 1987-1988 is Rotarians, United in Service, Dedicated to Peace. In coming weeks, you'll be hearing more about implementing this theme from President Keller, your district governor, and your club president. In response to growth and expansion, Rotary International recently purchased a new world headquarters building in downtown Evanston, Illinois, USA. The staff is expected to move into the top floors of the 18-story modern facility by August 1987. Most of the building will be leased. More details in the next edition of the Rotary News Network. And remember, Rotarians are always welcome to visit Rotary's world headquarters when in the Chicago area. The Polio Plus fundraising campaign for $120 million has received its largest gift to date. The government of the United Kingdom has designated £1 million sterling, $1.6 million for the Rotary International Immunization Program. Money will be channeled through the Save the Children Fund for the purchase of polio vaccines. Earlier, the Canadian government gave $1.2 million, and Chicago insurance man W. Clement Stone donated $1 million to Polio Plus. Are you familiar with the Rotary Basic Library? A new edition is just off the press. This attractively boxed set of 7 booklets has been updated to include all new RI programs and policies. This is Rotary's most useful publication, a must for new members, and a refresher course and reference resource for experienced Rotarians. Through your club secretary, you may order the set of booklets from the office of the RI Secretariat serving you. Cost US $14.50. And now a look at Rotary International internal affairs. Herb Pigman, General Secretary of Rotary International for the last 7.5 years, retired from his position June 30th, 1986. His liaison with the organization continues as he serves as Director of the Immunization Task Force of the Polio Plus program. He's succeeded by Phil Lindsay, whose administrative skills and vast knowledge of Rotary make him the ideal choice for the job. Mr. Lindsay joins us now. Welcome, Mr. General Secretary. I understand that you've been with the Rotary organization for over 30 years, and I expect you've seen a great deal of change over those years, right?
That's correct. 30 years is a long time, and there has been a lot of change. From the standpoint of the staff, and I came there as a staff member over 30 years ago, we've grown from 170 on the staff at that time to over 425 on the staff today, including our central office and the 7 branch offices that we have around the world.
What do you see ahead for Rotary? Do you see the organization growing in the years ahead?
Yes, I think it will grow as long as Rotary continues to offer something that is attractive to people, and I think the opportunity to serve is attractive to people. I think we'll grow.
What directions do you see Rotary taking?
Probably continuing the direction it's been taking for the last 10 years or so, and that is a more international or worldwide outlook in its programs. Community service was the basis for Rotary in the beginning, and for many years it continued as that, but in recent years Rotarians have taken a more worldwide outlook. The needs of people in other parts of the world have become a concern to them, and they're doing things about meeting those needs where they can.
Thank you, General Secretary Lindsay. And so we close this first edition of the Rotary News Network. Peace. Rotary information is a vital need for every Rotarian. If your club would like to subscribe to the Rotary News Network for the new Rotary year, contact the RI Secretariat office serving your area. Individual Rotarians may also subscribe. The annual cost will be about $120 for the 6-tape series. Remember, the best Rotarian is an informed Rotarian. Be one.